Well. Looks like the writing's on the wall in Melbourne or Victoria. We'll wait for a few people to jump on before I give you some insight into what I believe is going on, not just in Victoria, but on a global scale. And I want to address these things one at a time. And I really believe they're all interrelated. And here's why. It's no coincidence that there is chaos running amok right now. I mentioned yesterday, and I want to reiterate it again, Joe Biden, the President of the United States, gets up and says, we need more money. Not for the purpose of that, and that, you know what I mean, what they're going to do to kids, but for the purpose, he said, of the new plandemxx, the new one. Firstly, how do they know there's going to be a new one? Secondly, what is the new one? Thirdly, why are they pre-announcing something and already creating more fear and chaos? Now, I believe that these guys are all part, and you all know of this establishment, I believe, on this great reset and new world order. When I listen to the news on nearly every single country, the rhetoric is the same. Inflation is out of control. Food shortages. Government upheaval. There is also this whole agenda driving our children to something that is so evil and prosperous and demonic. Just remember, God is never the author of confusion and chaos. This is straight out of the biblical handbook. And what's happening now is nothing more but chaos. Biden gets up, and you might say, well, what's that got to do with Australia? Everything. Biden gets up and says, you know, all of you that are upset with me over gas prices, would you have preferred that Putin had his iron fist over in Ukraine? Now, I would have preferred you telling us what your son was doing business with these guys prior to your election. That's what I would have preferred. You see, all over the world, people are blaming gas prices. But let me just say to you, all he's got to do over there in America is open the pipeline. That's all he's got to do. It would solve most of their crisis. But it's the same rhetoric in Australia. You see they're talking shortages of food, while in America, they started with baby formula shortage. Over here right now, it's in the whole area of vegetation and our vegetables and everything else. But nonetheless, it's the same rhetoric. And these guys keep defending evil policy to suit their own agenda. Of course, now we find out that the Pope possibly could be resigning because he's, unwell. This is the most woke Pope, and I don't mean to offend my Catholic brethren. This is the most woke Pope we have ever seen, who's been pushing all kinds of left-wing ideology, all kinds of it, including one world government, convening meetings for one world government and one world religion. It's like we're seeing the Bible unfold right before our very eyes. And in Australia now, it seems like the writing is on the wall. Dan Andrews, 4 of his ministers are resigning and not standing. They're not contesting their seats anymore. You see, they're getting out. I believe, because the axe is about to come. The writing is on the wall. You can't keep lying to people over and over and over again. And then Merlino gets up there and sings the praises of Dan Andrews. Well, of course he would. What other options has he got? He was part and parcel of the same hypocrisy, part of the world's longest lockdowns. They hold the gold label when it comes to deaths in Australia during the plandemic. And now they're all resigning. They're resigning because they're falling on their swords. They know that the people of Victoria had enough. They know that. And they're quitting literally over and over again. The person who should quit is that recalcitrant despot dictator, Dan Andrews, who's done nothing but done evil to his people. And if you think him releasing a few mandates right now is showing you that he's changed, I'm telling you, it's not true. It's a lie. It's a cover-up. This is what they do. They hand out the candy. I'm very grateful for Senator Alex Addick right now and what he's done. He pressed our health minister, Brendan Murphy. Now, this guy could tell you what shots to take. He could tell you all kinds of stuff. but he can't define a woman. It took him 78 words of absolute complete dribble. Let me give you a woman, okay? Outside of the fact if you've had a womb removed but because of medical procedure. Number one, you got a womb. Number two, it's an adult female, period. How on earth these people get away with this nonsense? Thank God someone like Senator Addick is taking them to task on it. And it doesn't take 78 words. For goodness sake, a little girl and a little boy can explain to you what the difference is. And why are we even bringing this up? Let me ask this question. What is a good leader? What is good economic policy? What is good integrous leadership? These are the questions we ought to be asking rather than all this nonsense. Fancy the leader, the so-called leader of the Western world, going on television saying we need more money for the future pandemic. What, has he got some insider information from Klaus and the boys? Or maybe the WHO? And don't go telling me it's this monkeypox thing which they've changed. 29 people, smartest people in the world, supposedly get together to change the name like they did of Omicron. They had to change it because they didn't want to offend the Chinese premier. This is ludicrous. And what we need to do is send a message, especially those of you in Victoria, we're not tolerating this. Dan Andrews' resignation ought to be on the table. Matter of fact, Albo should be following suit. But then again, we may not need to worry about that because from what I'm hearing, there's already a whole bunch of wars going on in the Labor Party and the writing's on the wall there. I'll give it 18 months at the most and he'll be gone because he's dissed on people that he should have actually kept close. The old saying, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. This global agenda is there to destroy your economy, to destroy your future, and to impart chaos into your life. Don't buy into it. Don't buy into it. The rhetoric is the same all over the world. All over the world. It's because they have been indoctrinated, brainwashed, and coerced. And if you want to know the truth, follow the money. Look, I didn't want to say a lot today, but I did want to mention these things because I don't know, maybe Biden ought to go ask his mates Bill Gates for some money or something. I'm not too sure. Go get a loan from them. Fancy getting up there saying that publicly. And what is happening is simply a pattern of behavior that we're seeing over and over and over and over and over again. That means that we're running out of time and we must be prepared. We've got to be prepared. I really believe that one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest sufferings of people is in the area of finances. Now, you know that I've been teaching on wealth creation and wealth creation strategies for over 20 odd years. And it concerns me because I believe that's the one thing they've got over people. People went and actually did things against their conscience because of money. They needed money. They needed to feed their families. And that's sad. And my heart goes out to them. And I pray for you constantly. Now, this coming Wednesday, we have a 4-hour event. That's a half-day event, and I've brought in 2 of the world's leading experts that are literally helping people become financially free. And you don't need a lot of money to do it. You see, if we get educated and get a financial education, you see, governments and these people want to keep you ignorant, keep you in the dark. Well, here's my answer. Turn the light on. Ignorance is bliss until the seed of instruction and knowledge comes in and obliterates it. And what we need to do is understand that we can learn. You can learn. So this coming Wednesday, we have 2 sessions. Please register. I'll put the link in. It's also in the bio here. Please register. Don't wait for the last minute. You may miss out. And please, if you register, show up. Because if you show up, you will learn. 4 hours to make the rest of your life the best of your life. 4 hours to train yourself. I've written here note after note of what's going on right now in our world. And it doesn't look good. But you know what? Just like the children of Israel, when the plague came, they were protected. They were protected. And I want to encourage you to protect, to put a hedge around your life. There are some things you can't control, but there are some things you can control. So go to that link, www.mesiti.com/crypto. It's going to be an amazing 4 hours, 2 speakers, not one, 2, and they're going to be absolutely blown you away. They're going to both share from different perspectives on how you can really become financially free and not be dealt hardship because of the banks, world banks, governments, and the handouts they want you to live on. I said the other day that the WEF said that they want to instigate a basic human wage for everybody. Well, that is preposterous, it's wrong, and it's evil. Guys, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We're going to have a great time Sunday, 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in. Please follow us on our Instagram. If you go to mesiti.com/links, I'll put that also here in the chat. God bless you and thank you. And remember, we have an awesome future. It may look dark out there, but I'm telling you, I've read the back of the book and we always win. God bless you.